How's it going, everybody? We got Fiame drops here. And we got the homie Billy here. Thor's Bamfer here. And you got Swiper here. Got a lot of stuff that we're going to try to cram in and talk about. We trimmed it down. We had a lot of stuff we wanted to talk about. Trimmed it down as best we could. But we're gonna give your ears something to feel good about this time. So we're gonna lead off with Wade here. He's gonna talk about, or at least not really talk about, but just shed some light on the Apex Season 4. Wade, what do you got for us?
It's coming.
Thank you, sir.
Is that a pause? Can I say pause?
We're
Is that
supposed to be
okay?
getting the new character Revenant, but in reality, people don't know anything about it. So
I
Very
was
good.
just I was just gonna say somebody like me has no idea who this person is. So you don't have any insight on abilities or anything?
no, not really.
Very good.
They haven't really.
That's
They don't really leak anything out to the peoples.
They keep it
So,
pretty nice and tidy over there at Respawn.
well, that's stupid. How are you supposed to get excited?
You know, they drop it, you get excited. I was excited for season 3, but how much did I play? Like 17
None.
games.
I think I played
Absolutely.
2 games. I don't know. It's a lot like Titanfall 2, which has had the most massive resurgence we've ever seen in the last week or so, as it went free on PS4. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. We'll cover that. Okay. So we got that out of the way. What about there's some Modern Warfare news going on here. Some stuff they got coming out soon. Go ahead and touch on that there, Wade.
so most of the stuff's already out, but we got season 1 that just dropped, real cool. Um, 2 new guns that you get in the battle pass, which are both in the free tier. You don't actually have to pay anything for them, and they're pretty easy to achieve. About for the average player, I'd say it's about 20 to 30 hours of gameplay over the next 60 days in order to get them, which is reasonable.
So for this battle pass, what are you paying for if you wanted to make that option? What are you paying for?
If you want to pay for it, you're getting pretty much some different weapon cosmetics, which they're doing the blueprint system now, which is their new like way of putting out skins that are a little bit more personalized. Um, because they put some weapon attachments on the gun, but in reality, you can get any of the weapon blueprints, like all the attachments, you can just unlock through gameplay. It's not a big deal.
Oh, so it's not going to cost any COD points.
Well, it costs $10 to get the pass, right? Just
No, no. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. It's not going to cost any COD points to unlock anything once you have the battle pass.
no, nope.
Okay.
Um, this
Okay.
is honestly like unpopular opinion. As much as people love to hate on COD, this is by far the least like predatory monetization system they've ever had in a COD game, and it really just speaks volumes of positivity to me personally. Especially because of their new BR that's coming out. Um, it's not like full confirmed by the dev team, but from what we've seen, they're gonna be putting a battle royale in here pretty soon, mix of all the spec ops and ground war maps, and it looks like it's gonna be really really cool.
They're not locking it off for a year and just letting Sony have it, right?
Nope. So another thing with
Good.
that is that what
Good.
they plan to do is instead of making it like Blackout, um, or like Battlefield 5's Battle Royale, which were both good in their own sense, but they kind of flopped in the end because you had to buy the full game. Like you had to own Call of Duty to play it. You had to own Battlefield 5 to play it. That really cut down on the
Yep.
player base. With this new one, supposedly they're making the Battle Royale version completely free to everyone, just like Fortnite did. And then you can pay to buy
Okay.
your battle pass and cosmetics, which I
Okay.
am very excited to see like where they take this.
Yeah. I mean, me
But
personally, I have to be the downer here. I'm waiting to see how long it's gonna take them to crack. I hate to be that person, but I need to see
What do you mean
if they're
crack?
To give up and just go with the loot
before it,
boxes
like,
again.
Call of Duty has, as a collective group,
Oh yeah, go with the one
they
like
will
boxes.
either wait till the game is doing good, or they'll wait till after the holiday season or all the reviews are out, to start pushing all of their hardcore monetization, which happened last year, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Um, that's what I'm waiting for, to see if and when they're going to crack. And that's why I said I have to be the downer on this one. I'm waiting to see if they're going to prove me wrong or not. And unfortunately, it's COD. They haven't, for what they're doing so far right now, it's good, but history shows, it's
Yep.
possible they could crack at any moment.
They're pretty much at a crying wolf state right now, right? Like they want
Yeah.
people to play their game, and if they're like turning a new leaf and going with this more Fortnite-esque style of monetization,
Mhm.
then they're really trying to they're trying to turn it around, right? Like that if that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
And they gotta kind of overcome that stigma that they're gonna fuck you over every time, right?
Yeah. I like to call it they left a bad taste in your mouth.
Hmm.
That's the best way to put it.
That's nasty.
Kind of like that girlfriend that you know, or that ex that you know you shouldn't go back to, but just
Yeah, she's calling you up late at night, asking you,
Yep.
what you're doing. You're like, damn well.
You know damn well I'm playing Call of Duty.
Yep. So we'll see.
But yeah. All right. I mean, I'm interested. I'll see it. I bought Call of Duty for the story, so I mean, I'll test it.
Yeah.
I'll see if it's good or not. So
If anything, like we paid $60. I'm perfectly happy saying that I paid $60 for a campaign.
Very, very good. It's a good feel, I would say. If the campaign's that good, that you would say, I feel proud paying $60.
Like I've got my money out of it already.
Nice.
that's good. I feel like some games you can't say that, but if you can say for this one, that's good.
Yeah.
But all right, so we got some game reviews that we got. Let's start off with Pokemon. So I have it. I have Shield. Billy, you have it. You have Sword.
Yes, I technically have both, but yes, I have Sword.
Okay, yeah, my bad. I was just saying it as the one that we play most often.
Yes, I
So,
have Sword. Then.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, so why don't you tell us how you feel about it?
First off, I got the short end of the stick getting Sword. Better Pokemon are on Shield, confirmed. So anyone out there that hasn't bought it yet, get Shield. 345%.
Yeah,
I enjoy it a lot. Like, yes, it has its kinks. But the mixture of having overworld Pokemon, overworld grass Pokemon, and grass encounters makes this new area they have a little bit more alive and fun, I think. For the newer people, and it's a little bit of a spin-off for the old like OGs like me and you that have played basically every single game since Pokemon has come out.
Yep.
I think that's really cool because all of a sudden when I was just playing randomly and I wasn't even like trying to go for gyms, I was just running around. All of a sudden I ran into like a level 40 Snorlax. I was like, holy shit! Like, I immediately got stopped in my tracks because I like tried to run around it, but then it saw me and then it started running at me, and I'm like, oh boy, this is
Yeah,
This
what I
is
just get
fun.
myself into.
yeah. And that's not the other one. There's a bunch of other like Pokemon, and they have what these little raid battles they call them that cycle more powerful Pokemon as well. So that's another way to look at it. But then
Mhm.
I would say on the negative side, obviously, the Pokemon are not as cool, obviously, because there's so many things that they could come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's just me being a stickler and being like, I want this. But for what they gave us, it wasn't bad. I'm not too fond of where you can just grind raid battles and get the EXP candies,
Yep.
small, medium, large, and XL. So you can just
Yep.
literally, with your strongest Pokemon, just pump out raid battles. Then all of a sudden, your whole team can just be boosted to 100 basically with these candies and just force feed them to death. So,
Yep. Yep.
not a big fan of that. Like, it's nice when you're like, shit, my lowest Pokemon on my team is 45, and my highest is like almost 60, and like the rest of my Pokemon are like 55. So you're like, I need to get this dude boosted. Yes,
Mhm.
it's nice, but at the same time, buck up and put that Pokemon first, and don't let it die on you all the time.
Exactly. Yeah, I think they should turn it down a little bit.
Yeah.
At least the output of what you can get.
And then you
Yeah,
guys
like,
have EXP share for all your Pokemon all the time. What do you guys think about that?
I'm fine with that. I enjoy that. Just for, I guess, time-wise, because it was fine. Like, obviously adapting to, like, okay, I need to train this Pokemon, so I need to have it out first, withdraw it, and then put out my stronger Pokemon. But then your stronger Pokemon's still becoming your strongest Pokemon. It's just annoying at that point. Now, every Pokemon is just relatively, depends on the Pokemon type, if they're a fast learner or slow learner or stuff like that. So it's nice. My team has been basically, besides my starter is 2 levels higher than my second highest.
So you're never relying on like one Pokemon just to carry you
No.
through all the stuff.
Nope.
Not bad.
Never relying on that. I do like the new input on the gyms where they're going back to the traditional style of, like, you have like challenges you do. So like you can do the challenge, and if you do bad at the challenge, you have to battle a trainer. Or if you do good at the challenge, you can skip the trainer and then go to the gym leader. And it's nice because the gym leader doesn't have like 1 to 2 Pokemon anymore. They have like 4 Pokemon minimum, almost at every gym, past I think the second one.
Yep.
So you actually have to fight. You just don't go in there and like, okay, they have 2 Pokemon, I have 6, so I'm just gonna swamp this person.
Yeah, I'm gonna mop this Geodude and Onyx real quick and get out of here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna water type the shit out of you and be done. But then I don't know how far you have gone, Sim, but the Elite Four went, instead of just 4 people you fight and then the champion, they have like a tournament based like thing. Like obviously it's relatively the same thing where you fight these people, but like they're like, oh, tournament this, so like you will fight this person in the semifinals. I wish they would have a little bit more in depth on that. Like actually, like if you lost, you had to go to like the losers bracket and fight your way back to the champion.
It's like a double elimination.
Yeah, double elimination, or like it's not gonna be the same person every time. When you go there, it's not gonna be your rival in the semifinals and shit like
That would
that.
have been cool though. Double elimination would have been cool.
But
I
obviously,
think that'd have been neat.
it's their first game on a Switch, so there's little kinks, and they can't have all of our shit that we want.
Yep.
I expect it.
Have you guys...
But
go ahead, sorry.
But overall, I would say after getting the game, playing it for many hours, I would say it's a solid 8 out of 10 game. Like I said, there's some quirks they could deal with, but other than that, it's an overall recommend if you do like Pokemon to play it and get it. So that's my overall rating and spiel about the game.
Have you guys beat the whole game, or are you still working through it?
Technically, I'm on the champion, but you could say I've beaten the game.
What do you guys What do you guys
ahead.
think of the more like story-based, like the whole like getting through the gyms isn't as much of like get through the route, get to the gym, fight these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy them trying to go for more story based, but at the same time, whoever the writers are did not do a good job. The story was so sporadic, like halfway through.
Yeah.
Like had some start. It had a start. It was like we're doing this with it, but then all of a sudden you get to like the fourth badge and like you have no idea. The bad guys don't feel like bad guys, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, why are they not trying to kill the world? Like, hello. Just stuff like that is a thing with the storytelling, but I do enjoy that they're trying to do that.
Yep.
Because obviously that's like the show is like a story, like they run through this town and this happens, and they, instead of just battling the gym right away, they have to go do this and make sure this person's okay and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
What's your input on it, Mr. Sim?
So I think it was all right. I just want to, I have it pulled up. I just want to show you real quick. Apparently, according to IGN, they gave it a 9.3 out of 10. GameSpot gave it a 9 out of 10. EGM gave it a 4 out of 5, which is an 8 out of 10. And Game Informer gave it 8.75 out of 10.
Damn.
So now when it comes to Pokemon, I feel like I may be a little bit too critical just because I like it so damn much. So my big gripe with the game is, so they're saying, you know, we cut out a lot of stuff because we want to focus on this and that. And the biggest thing they said they wanted to focus on was the animations.
Yeah.
Now, I've already seen a lot of animations that have upset me from them saying that. So, for example, the animations sometimes when your Pokemon attacks does not line up with the move. So, Grookey's second evolution, the name is spacing me right now. So if you wanted to use a simple move like Tackle, he takes the broken stick out of his hair, and he'll like do this 3-hit move where it'll show the hit on the first move, but then the animation still continues after the hit is already done. So it's like you couldn't take the extra time to polish that up.
Right.
And then there's another one. Damn, what was the other one? Oh, there's just like simple, simple. I think it was like pound or whatever. Like those simple moves. Like it's just all it is the Pokemon jumping up and going back down. And it's like that's the animation that you went with. So
Right.
some of their animation choices were lackluster. And
Okay.
I thought my problem is, why would you say you're going to specifically work on this and not, not back it up? I didn't think they backed up what they said. I think they rushed it out. For a rushed game, I think it is good. I will give it that. For being a rush game, I think it's decent. I probably give it a 7 out of a 10. So far, I think it's super easy to level up your Pokemon, which is fine. It's not meant to be a hard game. It's meant to be an easy game nowadays. I like Billy brought up. I do like the strategic part of it. Just like if in Pokemon Red and Blue, when you wanted to go up against Sergeant Surge in the third gym, you had to do um, the puzzle to find the 3 switches in the trash cans, maneuver the lightning force fields or fences that were up. So I thought that was great that sparked off something that later on got better. I think that got better. But there's other aspects of the game that's kind of holding it back, in my opinion. So yeah, with that being said, I think I give it a 7 out of a 10. I do agree the story is garbage. I'm completely, whenever I get to a story, I spam A like crazy, get past it. I don't care. I don't care about any characters. I don't care about any dialogue. Like, I'm not invested in the story whatsoever.
Well, it
0%.
has like no guidance. Like literally no guidance.
It's annoying. Pretty much the whole entire my what I'm doing right now is you know nothing. I mean, like I have zero clue like what my character um
Like the purpose.
yeah, like I feel like I'm just running around to catch Pokemon, which obviously people say that's you got to catch them all. They say that that is the purpose, but if you're going to have a story mode, at least have something that makes it relevant.
Right? No,
Don't just have a story to have a story.
like the only person that like is relative in that story is your rival because he's related to the champion.
Yeah.
But the whole time he's bragging like, "Oh, my brother or cousin or whoever the champion, how they're related."
Yeah.
I don't even
I've
care.
heard that they say that.
I think it's brother, his older brother, I think.
He just brags that his brother's the best, and of
Yeah.
course he's the best. He's a fucking Charizard, dude. Like,
Yeah,
that's-
yeah. Come on now. Come on now, let's be real.
Like, bro, what were you gonna say, Wade?
I've heard that people say that the champ just the meme about them saying the champion is like the best in the world about 50,000 times throughout the
Yeah,
100%.
that's like all they
Every
do.
yeah, every interaction he has to remind you that he's the champion
Yeah.
every time.
He's like, I'm the champion and I've never lost and I'm this and I'm that. I'm like, big oof because I'm about to come down there after I get all 7 of these like badges of a circle thing and I'm gonna
Yeah.
kick your ass.
Yeah,
You
you're
have a
like
Charizard
in-
that goes like, oh, I will say, I like and don't like the Dynamax. I like how they're only in gym battles.
yeah,
I was talking to Wade about this
Yep.
like 2 days ago. I like how it's only in gym battles because Megas, don't get me wrong, they're cool. Just got out of hand. Like if you're in a pinch situation, you're like, I'm gonna lose. Mega evolve your Charizard and you just slay their whole team.
yeah,
Like yes, you only can have one, but you only need one because a Mega Gengar, Mega Charizard, Mega whoever, you're gonna mop the floor with that whole team.
you really
Like no
are.
matter what, if you have, even if they have type advantage, you're just gonna walk in there and
Yeah.
just slay. So, I like it, but at the same time, it's a little different. But obviously, it's different. So it just take a little bit to grow on me.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I like, it's something different. It's not what I would have suggested if I was in the office, but
Oh hell no! I would have been like, yo, let's like go with megas, but like,
I'd be like, "Hey,
have
guys,
something
you
else.
don't have a better idea?
Yeah, right.
Like that's what we're coming to? That's the last idea we have?"
Right. Like, okay, very good.
Gameplay, I think it's okay. I think it is a little bit too easy, which I think that's what they were going for. They wanted it to be easy. They wanted people just to pick it up and be able to beat it,
Yes.
and stuff like that. So I give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I have another thing, and Nick hates me for this, but let's all put our tinfoil hats on real quick.
Yeah.
I'm guessing none of you know about this, but there's a game that's basically like a Pokemon. It's gonna be releasing in January here. It's called Temtem. I recommend looking it up. It's gonna be for consoles,
For like Xbox and PlayStation or Switch?
Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC.
Okay.
There's an alpha coming out. Temtem, yep. Tem, one word.
Hasn't this been in development for like 5 years now?
Yeah, it's been in development for a while.
Wow.
I think, like I said, tinfoil hats. I think it's gonna do a good launch, and people are gonna love it. And it's gonna force Game Freak to put something really well done out. I think it's gonna force them to be like, shit. We need to like update our graphics. We need to update our this, and we need to actually focus on this.
Yeah, we gotta get our shit together.
Yeah, I think that's my thing. And Nick's like, no, they wouldn't do that. I'm like, bro, that's competition. They're gonna freak out. They'd be like, shit, there's another game rivaling us for turn-based evolution thing.
Yeah, they pretty much have been unscathed for the past couple decades.
Yeah,
Like nobody has ever challenged them. I mean, Digimon kind of, but that died off fast as hell.
yeah, because the show was the only thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you a link to it real fast.
Yeah, let me see this.
I'm gonna send you a link to the website real quick. But yeah, no, I'm 100% tinfoil hat. Like this is what's gonna happen.
That'd be cool.
Ooh, the stress test. I might have to get involved with that.
Yeah, dude. Throw your email in
Oh,
there.
Humble Bundle. Oh, you know what? I think I did see this. I think I
Yeah,
did see
dude.
this.
It looks
Oh,
good.
It does look pretty.
It's
Okay.
for what we've seen. It's basically Pokemon, but
Yeah. It looks
But
pretty
again-
recycled. So they got
Yeah.
four types. It looks like.
They have
Open
more.
world. Okay.
they have
not bad.
they have like a whole table thing.
They have
like I
6
said-
islands. Holy shit.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's gonna pull a fucking miracle play,
Is that a Charizard? That looks like a water Charizard.
right, dude? It's.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna fuck with Pokemon, and Pokemon's gonna get pissed, and they can't do anything about it, and they're gonna be like, shit, we got to put something out.
You want to know best case scenario? Best case scenario, this game blows up, does great, and they have to force out the universal decks.
I don't think.
I think
ju-
that would
I don't
get a
think.
lot
I
of
don't think
people
that would
back for
even
them.
figure it out. I think they're gonna have to put
Yeah.
out like an MMO almost base game. I think they're gonna have to pull out the, cause like I was talking to Wade at work about this. There's no
Yeah.
way they're not working on an MMO game for Pokemon. There's no way they're not.
With how gaming
Yeah,
works,
one-
no way.
With how game does work and how like game companies work, they have like what 40, 50 plus people working on games. They're gonna be like
minimum.
that's
minimum.
minimum. And
Mhm.
Wade was like, there's no way they have like 5 people to the side, be like, hey, start working on this. See how the
put together some
crowd
stuff.
feels. Just put some together some stuff. Like obviously you don't need to polish it right away.
Just like this new COD game. Like you really think that Activision just like last year was like, let's make a game that completely rivals Battlefront and does better and feels better in every single way?
Mhm.
No.
Yeah.
Or Battlefield, sorry, not Battlefront. Like
So-
they've had this game in the works for a while.
Yeah, so that's why I think this game is gonna when it comes out in January 21st.
Wait, of this year?
I think so, of 2020.
Oh, snaps. Yeah,
It's-
I'm signing up for this.
Like the alpha is gonna be coming out like soon or something. It's relatively
Yeah.
gonna be a beta or something's gonna be out relatively soon. I haven't really dived too deep into it. My brother's talking about it. But even
Oh,
if they
signed up.
like, I just think it's gonna compete. It's going to.
I mean, so far, from what I can see, it looks decent. I'll
From
give it
what
that. It looks
from
decent.
what current Pokemon we have, I think it's gonna compete and it's gonna make Game Freak sweat.
Is there any way to
Mhm.
actually balance out a universal dex though?
What do you mean?
Like fine, 100, 150 Pokemon, you can make some balance
Yep.
there. Especially if you split it up every time. But like, are there gonna be Pokemon that you just walk in and just absolutely in every situation are going to sweep?
No.
No.
The only
Just like-
reason why is because they pretty much covered all of the spectrum for the types. So there was certain types that just dominated. So
Like old school
Pretty-
time, dragons dominated because there was
Yup.
very minimal. There was, I think, ice was the only
think
thing
that-
effective against it besides dragon
Well, no.
types.
it was ice moves. You had to
Right.
have ice moves at the
Moves,
time.
yeah.
Yep.
Dragons didn't have a weak type. They had a weak move that they couldn't do,
Yeah.
or they couldn't do good against. So
Okay.
otherwise, every other type had a weakness. Dragon, well, I don't even think. See, back in the day, Dragonite, for example, was a normal type. They didn't have dragon types at that time, so
Yeah.
they didn't really
he was
have
whack.
a weakness. They didn't really have a weakness. They had a weak. Well, okay, their weakness was their move, but
But overall,
have a
they're
weak
just
type.
good.
yeah, it was. If you had a Dragonite and the other person didn't have a move to counter that, whoever hit first was pretty much getting the KO.
Yeah.
So
and then
I
you
will
could
say
sweep teams.
they did a pretty good job at balancing it out for types. So now at least every type has at least 2 or 3 weaknesses for types. So for example, if there is a rock type, rock types can get beat by both water, grass, or where it's super effective is water, grass, and um, fuck. I'm drawing a
Okay,
blank on the third one,
understandable.
but stuff like that, yeah.
Mhm.
So they did a pretty decent job. I will give them that. For the Temtem though, I could see it doing something if it's gonna do something revolutionary. I could see it giving Pokemon some headaches.
Well, first of all, it's gonna give them competition regardless, just because
yeah,
of the open world, like the multiple people on a map. So like me and you, we could run side by side through the islands, and that's already a leap ahead of Pokemon because what did they do this time? They added raid battles where you can see an opponent or you can see your ally, walk up to the thing, and that's it.
Yep. You're still very limited on what you can do.
Yeah, like you can't do much.
Nope.
But like this, like I'm looking at the screenshots, I'm looking at the videos on Steam.
Yeah.
Like they're running around next to each other, and your Pokemon are falling behind you. That's another thing that I really enjoy about that. Like if you like found this rare Pokemon or rare Temtem or whatever they're called in that game,
Yep.
all of a sudden it's just following you, and you're like, dude, where did you get that? And you're like, bro, I went to this Forbidden Island thing on Island 6. And it was a rare spawn, and I caught it. And I'm like, bro, that'd be dope.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's crossplay. I hope I can play on PC and you can play on like Xbox.
That would be badass.
Like that would be even
What's the
another
budget for the game?
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, so we'll definitely give a review on that when that at least when the stress test comes out, if we get access to it, for sure. So we got another review that we got Star Wars.
Ooh,
Billy,
Wade.
you wanna take this or does Wade?
I'll let Wade. That's me.
I went over COD, dude. It's all you.
It's all me. Alright, Star Wars. Let's just get this out right now. I'm butthurt that it wasn't nominated for any of the Game of the Year stuff. Don't know why. Let's just get that out of the way right now. So I didn't get it right away because I was like, it's a story game. I don't want to pay $60. Then all of a sudden the reviews came out, and it was just off the charts like God of War did. It was just 9.9, 10s, 10, 10. Game of the Year worthy. And I'm like, okay. And then my buddies, Nick and Ethan, they got it. And they're like, Bill, you need to get this game right now. And I'm like, okay, next day, go out, buy it. I played the first map, which it's nothing to brag about, but just the level design, and Wade and you could probably back me up, just the level design is great. Like, it's blatant, but not blatant of where to go. Like, you can be like, I need to relatively go that way, because obviously you have your hologram map.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it's pretty big for what it is. The combat, to be truthful, obviously if you're not a big fan of the like Dark Souls type esque where it's like you have to pick what target you're fighting.
Yep.
And parry to obviously get best, but obviously you can just swing. That's what I did a good chunk of the time in the beginning because there wasn't that many hard enemies, so I just kind of brute forced my way through a lot of encounters. But just the story is just the ending really, because since you got out, I don't want to ruin it. The story just the storytelling, man, just from what we played, I wish they would have done more. But through playing the whole game, you could see the ending kind of forming. And since you haven't how far are you in Sim? Obviously, you've just played it a little bit.
I have like 2 or 3 hours into it right now.
Okay, so you're like baby steps.
Yeah, I just left the planet where you get BD1.
Oh, dude, BD1, one of my favorite.
Oh my
One
god,
of my
you
favorite
just
droids.
started.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Alright.
Adorable, straight up adorable.
Yeah,
Only
you
gets better.
yeah, it only gets better. You have so much left. I really don't want to spoil it by
Yeah.
doing like a hardcore review. But I will say, if you are a fan of solo player games
Mm-hmm.
and Star Wars, it's a must-buy game.
Yeah, no, I mean, so far so good. I mean, not that I hate to say it, but I don't like to give EA credit that they slap their name on.
Yeah, no, I hate
Um,
that EA is a part of it, but
I just hope they
Respawn,
don't. I just
yeah.
hope they don't get more credit than they should.
yeah, no, they definitely shouldn't.
I don't think
Wade,
they will.
what's your? No, I don't think so.
I think all the credit's going to come down to Respawn. Where it should come
EA,
down to.
EA, I think mostly just funded it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
I think EA pretty much saw a way to make a Star Wars game that we've been asking for. And Respawn was kind of like their new uh, go-to for stuff like that.
Yeah. So, that's my little thing without going too in depth on like actual stuff that happens later on in the game. Like Kashyyyk is, would just say in the plan that
That was a
that
really
gave
fun
me
planet.
that gave me some the Blue People Avatar movie vibes, bro.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
yeah,
Like just the enemies you face, like they actually be struggling. I'm definitely gonna go back after I get my fix of other games right now. I'm definitely gonna go back on a harder difficulty and play on that.
Oh yeah, I
Just
didn't even tell you. I'm playing on the third hardest difficulty right now.
very
You should definitely go in and play on Jedi Master. That's what I did my playthrough on, and it was
That's
I think
that's the third one, right?
yeah,
It's
that is
like the one below the hardest.
the top
Yep.
one is like Jedi something Master, like Elder Master, and then
Yeah.
it's Jedi Master.
yeah, he's playing on Jedi Master. Yeah, no, for sure I want to play on hard difficulty because I played on Jedi Knight,
Yeah,
which like obviously I knew I could do a harder difficulty, but I just wanted to, I don't want to breeze through it, but I wanted to be able to like the story.
yeah,
But then after I'm like, yo, this combat is tight. This combat is dope. I like it.
yeah. I so playing it so far, I think it's great. My every time I play it though, I'm like, so you know in that episode of The Office when they see that parkour episode, everyone
Parkour.
just everyone just yelling around hardcore parkour. Like
Yeah.
that's every time I wall run, I have to think that hardcore parkour.
Dude,
You're just like-
you haven't even scaved what you
You're-
can do.
Yeah.
Like
You're-
wait till you're like later in the game when you get more abilities. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you're wall jumping, and then when you wall jump and you climb onto a vine, and then you
Dude.
climb up the vine, grab the rod, and then you climb up, and then you swing off a vine, and you're like, Jesus.
Dude, the combos that you could pull and like how they designed it with like the force moves you get, like bro. Have you went down like a sliding like
Yep.
area?
Yep.
Yeah, imagine that, but like 10 times longer and like stuff mixed in. It's every time I was like sliding down, like, and Wade knows probably some parts I was talking about in like some dungeons.
Mhm.
My mouth was just dropped the whole time. I was like, this is so cool. Like I haven't done that since I played I think God of War, but like God of War just did that because it just felt so satisfying to like throw my axe and pull it back like I'm a badass god.
Yeah.
But no, Star Wars, oh my god, the level design and the mechanics, I give it a 10. It's probably more fanboy at that point, giving it a straight
Mhm.
10. But bro, I'm so mad that it wasn't even nominated for any title for Game of the Year.
Yep.
Because
Yeah,
that
I
means
found
it's
that
just gonna
weird.
get screwed over for next year if it is on next year's Game Awards because it has to compete with everything that's gonna be launched.
Yeah, the biggest one that's gonna have to compete with is The Last of Us 2, which I think unless Naughty Dog fucks that up, I think that might be a sure lock for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's my opinion.
Yeah, seeing that's what sucks. Like it has to
Yeah.
compete with that title, and there's probably some other titles that we don't even know of that are gonna be
Yep. That
game
could
of the year
possibly come
worthy.
out. Yeah.
And you're like, this is some shit.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely got screwed over.
So out of 10, what would you guys give it? Wade, we'll go with you first.
As a person who plays a lot of FPS, and a lot of multiplayer games, not a lot of solo games, it was really different to like kind of get into that because PS4 has been the big solo game hub with like God of War and stuff like that, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
So I haven't really gotten a
Horizon,
lot of that kind of experience. But even with that, and kind of retraining my brain to not just point and shoot, it was by far the best, one of the best games I've played within the last 10 years, which is saying something.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yep.
there's been a lot of games.
Mhm.
So, I loved it. I loved everything about it.
On a
So,
side note, are they adding DLC to that?
I think they said that they were going to add some DLC, but I have no idea what they're going to do with that.
Very good. I was just wondering because obviously EA wants to get more money, so I feel like DLC is inevitable for that
Yeah.
game. But I just didn't know if we had like it's gonna be kind of like this type of storyline or something.
Yeah.
And just to jump into mine, like I said, I give it a 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Likewise.
Nice.
Like again, like Wade said, past 10 years, one of the best games I've played.
Yep.
Obviously, Wade hasn't played like God of War, Horizon, Last of Us Part 1.
Yep.
Those they're so good, and just it's insane to see games like that. Like it's nice to actually like when you play a game, you build a relationship with a character. Like you really don't do that unless you watch like a TV show or really much less a TV show. Like yeah, video game characters have that, but like only I would say in long running games.
Like you might have that with like The Witcher. The Witcher was definitely a game where I got a relationship with my character.
Yeah, or even to go on like in like my boat and your boat as well, Wade. Like Cade 6 when when they killed him off in Forsaken. Like
Yeah, but that was a relationship that took 5 years to build. Like
yeah,
that's not
see
something
that's like that's not just like I played the game for. I played 3 things of the game, but like that's a 5-year relationship, and like we felt something when all of a sudden they're like, kill his ghost, and you're like, bro. Like
Mhm.
single player games, that this day and age really sometimes don't do that. But like Horizon, I felt that. God of War, I felt that. Last of Us, I think I cried like 4 times playing Last of Us. I was just I was a mess. I was a big puddle half the time.
Yep.
And Sin can back me up on that. Like it.
Yep.
And then what game was it? The Last Guardian. Y'all know that game
Yep.
with the big like doggo griffin thing.
Yep.
That game threw me for a loop at the end. Like I cried twice. I was like, bro, what is going on? Like I've played this game for only like 10 hours and I'm crying. Like what? Like this is not a thing.
Yeah.
But just like how they certain games is they build a relationship with a character and you're just like you hate to see him go or you hate to like end the game. Like Star Wars, when they ended it, I was like, I just want more. Like
Yep.
I just want more. Like Cal is like, I want to play Star Wars more. Like I want to go in depth on your story a little bit more. Like
Mhm.
I'm like, I want more. So that's my whole Star Wars spiel.
All right. From me playing it so far, I haven't got to the, nitty gritty part of it, if you will. So far, my initial, I would probably give it 8.5 out of 10 so far. I think
For
the
how far
visuals
you
are
are, I agree.
for how far I am. I think the visuals are great. Um, Story mode so far, kind of. I don't really understand because I'm at the point that I'm at. All of a sudden, this guy just has he has a lightsaber. Did he pull it out of his ass? Like, where the fuck did he have this lightsaber the whole entire time? And all of a sudden, this guy can use the Force out of nowhere, and then I got to the part where they figured out that he was getting trained by somebody. So I figured that out later on. But some of the stuff I feel like they're progressively going to tell you how you became the person you are right now.
Right.
That
which I
was
guess it's fine.
another part of it. It was you took a journey with your character, which I think a lot of
Yeah.
games don't like push
Yeah.
that narrative.
Cause
Yeah.
like you were saying, Sim, like you're like, how? Wait, this guy knew how to use the Force the whole time. Why didn't he use
Yeah.
it at all?
See,
So
and
yeah. Mm.
I don't know. It left me a little it left me dazed and confused, like I had a concussion.
Yep,
I
gotcha.
was trying to piece it together. It was kind of like the movie where Ray, all of a sudden, you're like, why? Like, hold on, she's a Jedi.
I don't want to get started on the movies
I'm-
because
All right, my bad. But
for one thing, why the hell can Finn wield a lightsaber like it's his day job? That's some bullshit.
okay, my bad,
I'm not
my
gonna
bad,
start.
my bad.
But to go on without obviously going in depth, because obviously you're past the part.
Yeah.
So like, why he wasn't using the Force and showing his lightsaber?
Yeah.
Because of the whole Order 66, kill all Jedis. Jedis are out of the game. Like, you're not supposed to be a Jedi. If you are a Jedi, you're supposed to be killed on sight.
Yeah, it
No,
very, very
no,
much helps
no.
to know like where the game is placed within the Star Wars timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why, yes, it felt a little weird. Like, why the hell did this dude know the Force?
Yeah.
Why is he have a lightsaber? So obviously he's hid the lightsaber, but like after the whole incident, he pulls it back out because he had to use the Force. So that's that whole thing to like kind of get you on board. But yes, like Wade said, it's a trip. It is a very good journey that you take. The flashbacks are cool. It brings in some characters from previous Star Wars like franchises.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see that.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with an 8.5. I think
For now.
from what you guys are saying, it probably sounds like it's gonna change, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, because you've been on a train, right?
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I
Yeah.
thought that was cool. That took majority of my rating.
Yep.
Yeah,
you
that
have-
train scene was pretty cool. Yeah, you haven't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, you. Oof.
All right.
We'll come back to that subject.
Yeah.
Let's just say that Star Wars will be brought up
Yeah.
after
so
you
we
beat
got,
it.
We got one more update to talk about, and that's a Super Mario Maker 2 update, which did something they haven't done before, and that's I don't know if you guys heard about it. So you can pretty much play as Link now in Super Mario Maker.
Really?
Yeah, so there's stuff going out there saying it's Link Maker now is kind of you can make your own Link levels, which is pretty cool, and they give you free scale to do pretty much anything that Link can do. So except for I don't think you can throw his boomerang. You can pull bombs out. You can shoot arrows, high, medium, or straight ahead, which is good. You can use his sword and you can use his dash with the sword, which is cool. So yeah, I was gonna make. I have 4 levels that I currently made. 2 of them I made for Dashy, which I already knew they were never gonna get played by his ass anyway. But why not? Why not try? So, but I do want to make some Zelda levels. I think that'd be pretty cool. They also made a brand new character, and they also brought back another old character. I think he's like a he's like a piney type character. I'm already drawing a blank on his name, but for not touching the game for a few months and adding this huge update, I think is great, because I feel like it was starting to die off, and being a heavy Switch user right now, I think it bringing life back to this game is good for them. Very good.
Solid.
All right, so before we get into some problematics in the gaming world right now, we're gonna start a new segment where we pretty much just let everybody know what the free games of the month are for Sony, for Xbox, and Switch has it, but it's more or less for their emulators that they have. The only difference is you don't get to keep those games.
You get to
But
buy it.
yeah. Well, you get them for free if you have the online service.
Okay.
But you don't get to keep them. That's the only caveat. But
Okay.
so starting off with Xbox, we have Insane Robots and Toy Story 3 that you can get for the first 2 weeks, and Insane Robots goes all the way till the end of the month. Toy Story 3 ends on the 15th, and Jurassic Park, that starts on the 16th, and Castlevania starts on the 16th. Now, I got into a bunch of heated debates with people on Twitter about it. I don't really see any I'm just gonna start with this. My issue with the games for gold is there's no games that stand out and says,
Play me.
hey, play me right now.
Yep.
Do what you need to do, but play me right now. Drop Star Wars, drop
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, play me stat. And that's my problem. Where now we're gonna get into PlayStation. PlayStation, they do 2 games, but for the whole entire month. They have Titanfall 2 and the Monster Energy Supercross motorsport game.
Which is the fun game. I
Yep.
played it.
Titanfall 2, I would say out of all 6 of those games right now, Titanfall 2 probably has the most hype. You kind of were talking about it, Wade. You want to
Yeah.
go back to what you were going to say?
So right now, Titanfall 2 on PlayStation, as of last week, had 50,000 players online.
That's bonkers. Straight
That's
up bonkers.
insane.
Yeah.
It
For
hasn't
how old is this game?
probably 2 to 3 years now. 3 at least. Yeah, that's insane. And it just shows you like people like
It's 3 years.
stuff that they
Came out in
like.
2016.
Yep.
2016. So that just proves that it's not an older. It's under 5 years. It's still a relatively newer game, if you will. It's not a,
Classic.
outdated game that it. And even so, the Jurassic Evolution game, I think that one came out a couple years ago as well, but that's more of like that one. Okay, that one came out on the 18th or 2018, and the reason I think they're giving that away is because no one's playing it. Absolutely no one's playing it. Even though it got decent ratings, like apparently Google users, 97% of the people like this video game.
Really?
Yeah, and if that was the case, why would they give it away for free? Wouldn't they still want to sell it to make people pay for it to capitalize on that?
Right.
I don't know, but I have zero interest in that game. Zero interest. For being a paying customer, zero interest.
I have zero interest in any of those games.
Yeah, they're boo boo cheeks, straight up boo boo cheeks.
Yeah.
Or if you go on my Twitter, they're 11 throw up emoji.
Very good.
11 throw up emojis. Now, for Nintendo, for their emulators, for the Super Nintendo, you get Kirby Superstar, great game. Super Punch Out, great game. You get Breath of Fire 2, which is a good game. I haven't played it, but I looked at it and it's pretty good. You also get Star Fox 2, which is good. Definitely bounces off the first one. And then they have games for the original NES, Chrysalis and Journey of the Silius. I think it's Silius. That's how they say it. Which is good too. They're just regular platformers. But like I said, you don't actually get to keep those, which is fine. I rarely ever play the emulator unless it's a game that stands out. But
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, those are the games for December.
Yeah, I think PS4 knocked it out of the park with that one.
Yep, 100%.
That was smart.
100%. I agree. All right, next topic we got. All right, so let's get into some shit here because I got issues with both of these. So, do you guys want to start off with Rocket League first, or you want to start off with Stadia?
I know nothing about Rocket League, so
go ahead with that one.
Okay, fucking Rocket, man. So Epic bought the company out that owned Rocket League. They bought out their company to own that property.
Yep.
So it was in the stratosphere that they were going to change Rocket League, and they did. They added a Rocket League pass, which is fine. I didn't buy it. I had you can do the free one where you earn decryptors, earn random stuff. Fine, whatever. Fantastic. And what they did that was so fucking terrible is they added a goddamn store. And they took away crates and added blueprints. They took away everybody's keys and gave them currency for those, which is just fucking terrible because now they have 100% control on how everything is priced. And as you guessed it, everything is overpriced horribly. So, for example, I'm looking at the store right now. They have they have daily items and featured items as they would have in Fortnite. So looking at it right now, daily items. If we were to look at this for keys, so let me say this first. So if you had a key, you got 100 currency. You got 100 their Rocket League currency, which means $1 is one key, which is 100 currency. Keep that in mind. Now, specifically, I'm looking at wheels, the Macedo wheels that are pink. Right now on the store are selling for 700 currency, which would accumulate to $7, right? Okay, that seems decent. Up until you pull what they were actually worth on the market for keys. If you look at that, they weren't even worth a full key. They were worth 0.37 of a fucking key. Damn. These guys marked it up 700%. 700%. And that's not all. We go to the featured items. 20XX is a black market decal. That's like one of the higher probability or hardest probability to get in a crate when the crates were out. The 20XX at most was 12, 13 keys. Okay, $12, $13, right? They're selling this for 2,200 fucking currency. They mark that up extra. It's not as bad as the Masato wheels, but still, that's an extra $9 that they added on top of this now. And for what it is now, because of the inflation of the currency and what the keys used to be, the price for what everybody had for their current or what they had for their vehicle has drastically dropped down. So if you were to look at the key system beforehand One of my buddies had an all titanium white setup, Octane, Halo, 20XX decal, black market decal, Dracos, and I'm drawing a blank on his goal scoring animation, but it was valued over $200. Now it's under 75,
Oof.
which is terrible, and that's because of the inflation of the
Also,
keys to currency ratio.
didn't they get rid of trading as well? Or is that still in the
Um,
game?
So I believe they got. Oh, I haven't actually tried with anybody yet, but I think you still can trade just item and item. You can't trade blueprints. You can't trade currency
All right.
items.
Well, obviously that
but-
makes sense. But
Yeah, so I still think you can trade items, but before you could trade keys for items, you could trade crates for items, you could trade crates for keys. That's completely done. And
that's whack.
yeah, I've heard. So they have. So instead of crates now, they have blueprints,
Yeah.
which now blueprints let you see what you're actually going to get in there. Now, my only problem with that is it costs currency to open it. So when you had a crate, it was one key. Okay, I opened a crate for $1. Fantastic. You open up a blueprint, it can range anywhere from 100 to 2,500,
Oof.
depending on what it is.
Yeah.
Just to open it up.
That's a big oof.
It's they
Um,
fucked it up. They fucked
my
it up.
oh yeah, my 2 cents on a shop is relatively gonna be overpriced. Because obviously Fortnite, like a skin, it all depends on your personal preference. Like sometimes certain skins, like let's just be like Fortnite for example. Like how much is a purple skin, Wade? Like how much was it?
$15.
$15. Some of those purple skins were worth that $15, but some of them at that purple scale were worth like maybe 5, maybe max.
Yep.
Same thing with
I'm-
like CS:GO. Like
Yeah.
some of those skins are worth
Yeah, we
the
talked
price,
about that. Yep.
but CS:GO has both. CS:GO has you get the item from a case. You have to use a key to unlock it. That's what I like. But then they have the whole online market thing with the Steam Marketplace, where you can sell it because you got the drop. And then there's patterns. There's all sorts of shit that can fluctuate the pricing.
Yep.
So that's where I say they could go with it. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm a big fan of a shop where like it rotates and like I look forward to it because like CTR Crash does a shop.
Yep.
But for the first handful of months the game was out, there was no way of buying currency, so you had to earn all your what's it called, Wumpa coins.
Yep.
You had to earn all of them. So that means you had to either play online all the time, or you had to just go through the story. You could play by yourself and just do circuits, and you'll get a handful of coins here, a handful of coins there.
Yep.
So I thought that was fun, but then they added, like, oh, you can buy it now in microtransactions, which I'm like, I guess is whatever. If you really want to buy it, go ahead. But from what you're telling me on Rocket League, that they've jacked the price too much.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine having a shop, like I said, but once you make it that much more pricing wise is kind of ridiculous.
I think their intention to like eliminate loot boxes wasn't a bad one. They just went about it really poorly.
Oh, really
Yeah.
poorly. 100% really poorly.
They shot themselves in the foot. I can't even tell you how bad. They shot themselves in the foot with a shotgun,
Oh, yeah.
or you could say shotgun to the dick. Is pretty much what they did. 100%. shit
Yeah,
is terrible.
because obviously you could buy cases. Like, I don't want to talk about it because I bought way too many cases on like Overwatch and Apex, and it took me forever to get the things I wanted because I just sometimes don't have the RNG for it. Apex is a different story. I got a lot of things from Apex. That was a good time. That game loves me. But like Overwatch, I just spent $100. So I'm stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean, the problem with Overwatch is
There's no dupe protection, and it really fucking sucks.
when you duped, all you got at most was what 100 coins at most if you duped.
Dude, not even that shit. You got like 75. It depends on the rarity of whatever duplicate you got.
Yeah, and
But like, even that, like,
it didn't justify it at all.
Like, I like to know what I'm gonna get. Like, yes, I love that gambling fact of like, ooh, I open a crate with a key and I have a potential to like a 2% drop rate to get something that's a legendary rarity, or I have 20% to get a blue, or another 5% to get a like a blue, like a purple. I think that's really that's fun because I love the gambling factor. But at the same time, like a shop, I enjoy that. Like, okay, I'm going to purchase this for a set amount of coins, and I get this. Something that I'll use. But obviously, as we can tell, they went the wrong direction, and they shot themselves in the dick foot. Very bad.
Yeah, somebody was giving them directions. So like, turn right. No, motherfucker, turn left. You know what? I'm gonna turn right.
You know, I'm gonna do it.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So
it's simple fucking math. How do you fuck up 1 + 1 does not equal 3? It just does not.
Yeah. So there's that. Let's, on that note, since scene's pretty heated, let's get on the Stadia.
Yeah, that dumb shit. I fucking called it.
We all called it. Man. There was no way it was gonna succeed in today's US internet.
Yep.
Like the average person can't afford to have that good of internet to constantly play the game. Or a mainstream game.
Nope.
So obviously if you didn't notice, Stadia didn't do the hottest at launch.
Nope.
I don't know exact numbers, but from the games that I know of and that people played, you had to have a pretty solid connection to play. And
even with a solid connection, you still had input lag and
yes, you had major input lag. It was really nice that I will have to say it was really nice when you did buy said Stadia, you got the controller and everything with it as like a collector's pack, and it wasn't like an absurd amount of money. So that was a good on them. But again, like just the input lag would tear me up a wall. Like if you're trying to play, let's say, Call of Duty, Mortal Kombat, Destiny, any of those games, and you have input lag, you're putting yourself at 1,000 disadvantage.
Yep.
Obviously, you're playing with other Stadia players that I know of, because Destiny, they have their own literally separate server for Stadia.
Yep.
So when Aztecross played on Stadia, it took him hours almost to get into a game of Crucible. Wade. It was insane.
Hours?
Yeah, he literally signed queue, and it just he could find one. I think until he got like to a couple games. In like one day, it took him only he got 2 games because he was just sitting there.
And to bounce off of that,
Hours?
I did a little bit of research on that. So remember I was telling you about the resolution issue they were having?
Mm-hmm.
It was Red Dead Redemption 2 and Destiny were the 2 main ones that said they could get up to 4K resolution, and they couldn't.
Yep.
Those are the main games that they said they couldn't, but there was others where they couldn't even get 1080p.
Yeah.
So terrible.
there's just so many little tidbits. Like that's super cool that I could play my Destiny game on the go on my phone, or on the go on like a portable TV with Chromecast. That's really cool. Like if you're like chilling, you're on like vacation, or you're like on a trip going somewhere, and you're like, yo, I want to play some Call of Duty.
Yep.
So bring a Chromecast with you, bring the controller, and throw it on the TV, because usually hotels these days have like a good like 40-inch, 43-inch like HD TV.
Yep.
In most, I would say 4 to 5 star hotels, which
Yep.
obviously majority of people are staying at.
Yep.
So you'll have a decent TV to play on, not too big, so that shouldn't be that bad. But just like your input lag, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah. Make you want to snap.
Dude, I would spike my controller all the time. I would
It was
have
terrible.
to buy controllers.
It was never going to succeed. It was 100% going to fail from the get-go because, you know, so with the whole thing of input lag, that's if you see people playing competitively, you will rarely ever see anybody play with a wireless controller. I would say 99.9% of people who play competitive games have it wired.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Because of input lag. Now you could be like, okay, I'll just connect my controller to the PC USB port and have it be connected. It doesn't work like that. Even though your controller is connected to your computer, the computer connecting to their server is wireless. It's not hardwiredly connected.
Yeah, your
So you're
whole
still
thing is
yeah.
wireless still.
I think the dream and the ambition is there, but what they're trying to do and what the graphics are right now and how fast paced everybody wants to play is never going to work ever until there's a significant amount of technology that advances at some point. It's never going to work.
Until we swap
Never
to
gonna work.
5G. I don't think it'll
It's
ever
never
work.
going to work. No,
Yeah.
never.
Not unless we have the Wi-Fi that China has, it's never gonna work.
That's voodoo magical.
They literally have centers, like in towns, like smaller towns too. That you just go and you play games. You can bring your PC and you just play.
Dude, you
all
from what
day.
I saw, it was on a YouTube video that there's people who actually live above those internet cafes.
Yeah, it's
insane.
insane.
Yeah, if you go to a internet cafe, which over here would probably be like Starbucks or something.
You're pulling your hair out.
You get on there, you're gonna struggle to fucking Google.
Yeah,
It's
no,
insane.
it's not fun. Not fun at all. So
No, it's dumb.
if I didn't love my family to death, I would move over to like China, just so like I just want to experience like what they have, because they have land party or land like connection everywhere.
Yep.
So like you're in competitive scene, you literally go there and you'll practice all the time and you'll become a god in like months instead of
Yep.
years here.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's utter insane. Like to go on a little rant, like look at the competitive scene across the world. Korea and China are the number one. USA is a joke across the board. Like we are a joke.
Mhm.
Brazilian people, they're god tier at freaking like CS:GO.
Yep.
Yep.
Like it's insane. Like we have Call of Duty. Like that's not that impressive. Like
No, not at all.
like don't get me wrong, it's fun to watch professional Call of Duty because they're nutty at it, because they know the map so well and they know spots. It's really fun. But like watching competitive CS:GO, that shit is insane.
It's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother level.
It's a whole nother level. Like watching competitive like Overwatch, League, fucking fighting games. Watching people come back when they have like an inch of health. Like if they get fucking barely touched with a punch, like half a punch, they're dead. But then they just come out of nowhere and just pull these nasty combos. Like when I was watching, it was last year when I was watching Echo Fox and he's playing Fighter Z, and he had like no health left on one of his characters, and the other person had 3 characters left. I just watched him come back, reverse sweep that dude. I was
Like it was easy.
like it was his day job. I was like, that's insane. Like Call of Duty, like, is like, yeah, we got a 3K on Search and Destroy. Okay. like it's played on console, so yes, it's 60 frames and it's all that, but just I don't know. Other games, competitive scenes, I feel like are just way elite to Call of Duty.
Yep.
I think Call of Duty has just left a bad taste in my mouth over the years of me just playing it as like it was my exclusive game. I'll say that.
Yep.
And like what Wade is saying, this new Call of Duty, the engine is nice. I hope the Battle Royale does well because I'm sick of Fortnite being the talk of the town for it's the best Battle Royale experience. It's really not anymore. It was season, I would say 1 through 3, when movement, like mobility, wasn't a big thing, and you had to like actually run everywhere.
When it didn't become a literal day job to play.
Yeah, like when you could actually hop on Fortnite and have fun with your bros and just play. Like if you got like 4 dubs that day, you're like, that's sick. Let's go. We popped off that day. Now it's like if you don't win every game, you suck at the game. You fucking you're trash. Like what are you doing with your job?
Yep.
Like what are you doing with your life? Like if you don't play this full time, then don't play Fortnite. It's ridiculous, the thing. So that's the little rant I went on with the competitive scene right there, I guess we could say. It's the thing.
No, that's great. All right, I think that brings us to the last part. You guys anything else?
Okay, so we want to do this little deal, and
yeah, good stuff. I forgot. Good stuff.
So we want to do this little deal with the 3 of us, where we for Christmas, holiday season, or whenever, just because it sounds fun, where we get each other different games that we might not have played normally, and have each other play it. It could be a meme game, it could be a really cool game that we love, anything. But just something that we haven't tried before that the other person might like. And if you guys want to comment any games that we should definitely check out, we would be 100% down to look into that.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, but as of right now, I think we have it as I have you, Billy has me, and you have. Wait, fuck, I fucked it up. Okay.
Holy shit, that threw me for a loop.
Yeah. Okay. I have Wade. Wade has Billy, and Billy has me. Right. I think that's what we agreed on.
I think that's what we're doing.
Okay. Perfect.
Wade's gonna be like, "Hey Billy, play Call of Duty."
Nah, that's too streamlined. I got some indie games for you to try.
Ooh,
That I
fancy.
think that you might like.
Very good.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out games for
Yeah. Oh, I got one for.
Oh. Wade has to play this game. He has to play a fighter.
That would suck. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be that much of a jackass. Suck. He might hate his life after that. But yeah, no. That's pretty much what we're gonna try to do. We're not gonna start this month, but we are gonna start next month.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next month. I think it's time to sign off on this one. Catch y'all next week.
Boys,
Yeah,
talk
take
to
it
you
easy,
later.
everybody.
Have a good week, guys.